So I just arrived at Nsukka University, the one people call University of Nigeria, Nsukka campus. University of Nigeria because it was the first indigenous university created after independence in October 1960. So I just arrived, and because I was a newcomer, they put me up in the guest house of the university where they were welcoming new staff. So it was like a hotel, a bit basic, but very, very nice, clean, airy. And there was a huge corridor, and then my room was somewhere along the corridor. And I was a bit hungry, so I started asking people where are the, the shops. I didn't know there was only one shop on campus, in fact, outside campus, and that was the only shop in town. People didn't go to the shops, they were going to the market. Everything was bought in the market. And so I went to that shop looking for jam because I thought that would be nice and I would not need to cook or wait for the meal in the evening because they were serving meal just like in a restaurant, in a hotel. So I went, looked for jams, and remember it was just after the war, just 2 years after the war. So there was virtually very little, in fact, in that shop, and there was no jam. The only thing I found was lemon curd. And I thought, what kind of thing is that? What could it be? I had absolutely no idea. But it was looking like a kind of jam, so I bought it. And actually, when I ate it, it was really nice. It was lemony, obviously, because it was lemon jam. Lemon curd. Like, like puree. And I had bought bread. So I went back to my room, ate 1 or 2 slices of that. It was absolutely delicious. And then I had to go out. I forgot where. So I left the jam pot, the jar, and I forgot to close it. There was no cupboard or anything. There was no fridge. I just put it there on the table with the bread and left. By the time I came back, as soon as I arrived at the end of the corridor, I became a bit anxious. There was a whole large, long column of ants, black ants, that were walking, bump, beep, bump, beep, bump, beep, like army soldiers. And guess where they were going? They were filing past, going to my room, passing under the door. And I said, dear me. So I opened the door, and my lemon curd jam was packed full of jams. It was a banquet, but not for me. And I was absolutely petrified. In fact, I was afraid. And I wanted to call and say, there are ants in my room. I don't know how they arrived there. I don't know what they are doing there. But words failed me. Because the English I'd learnt in school and in university was not that kind. It was about Shakespeare and Chaucer and other, writers and poets and all the rest. I could manage geography and history, but everyday vocabulary, and certainly not ant or even jam. I had no idea how to say it, so I think I shouted, "They are beasts!" Somebody came and laughed, and I forgot what happened next, but they thought it was so funny that I would be afraid of ants and couldn't even say ants but beasts. It was a memorable occasion. And all this to say, lesson number 1 in a foreign country: learn the language, my friends. Learn the language, the everyday language. Otherwise, you'll be stuck, you know. And there was another occasion like that. People decided that I was a VIP when I eventually got a flat. They sent painters, decorators to paint my flat. So they came and started repainting the whole thing. And I was asking them what they were doing. I was trying to make conversation. And they kept saying this thing, this thing, this thing. And I had no idea what they were talking about, because in my learning English, I'd learned how to say the, you know, and the rose with diphthongs and TH, and we great. There was nothing like that in Nigeria. And I quickly adjusted, because the Nigerian English was so close to French. No worries about TH anymore. It was just DE, like they write on, placards outside in the market. DE, the trader, the driver. So I loved Nigerian English so much that I started speaking like that. And by the time I came back to Europe, I had a big problem. When I speak and people don't see me, they just see an Igbo woman speaking. They had absolutely no idea I came from somewhere else. So learn languages,